As the 2024 presidential election approaches, the political landscape in the United States has become increasingly dynamic, with recent polling indicating a competitive race between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. A Harvard Capps/Harris poll conducted from October 11th to 13th shows that Trump has gained a slight lead over Harris among early voters in key battleground states. Specifically, 48% of early voters in these swing states support Trump, while 47% back Harris. Additionally, about 5% of respondents either support another candidate or have not yet cast their vote. This indicates that Trump's strategy focusing on these critical regions may be paying off as he attempts to regain the presidency after losing to Joe Biden in 2020. Despite Trump's narrow advantage in swing states, Harris holds a significant 8-point lead among early voters nationwide, with 51% supporting her compared to Trump's 43%. This disparity highlights the complexity of the election, where local and national sentiments can diverge. With 45% of voters indicating they plan to vote early and 50% intending to vote on Election Day, the dynamics of voter turnout are crucial. Early voting has become a prominent feature of American elections, particularly since the COVID-19 pandemic increased the need for accessible voting options. The upcoming election will test both candidates' abilities to mobilize their bases effectively while reaching undecided voters. The poll's findings were based on responses from 3,145 registered voters, including 2,596 likely voters and 898 voters from battleground states. The margin of error for the total sample was plus or minus 1.8 percentage points, which underscores the tightness of the race. As the election date draws closer, every poll and every percentage point matters significantly. Key battleground states such as Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Nevada are once again central to the election, as they have historically been decisive in determining the outcome of presidential races. With a month to go until Election Day, both candidates will need to ramp up their efforts to secure votes in these pivotal states. It's also important to note that earlier polling, such as a CBS News poll, indicated that Harris had a slight edge over Trump, leading by 3 points. However, public sentiment appears to be mixed. Many Americans are expressing a pessimistic outlook regarding the state of the country, which could influence their voting decisions. Economic challenges, political polarization, and social issues continue to weigh heavily on voters' minds. With this backdrop, the Democratic Party has experienced a decline in voter registration advantage in key battleground states, potentially complicating Harris's path to victory. The loss of registration advantage is concerning, particularly in states that are essential for Democratic success. As Harris campaigns for re-election, she faces the challenge of rallying her party's base while also appealing to independent and undecided voters. The Harris campaign has focused on highlighting the administration's achievements, particularly in managing the economic recovery from the pandemic, addressing healthcare access, and promoting social justice initiatives. Harris has positioned herself as a voice for progressive change, aiming to build on the coalition that brought Biden to power in 2020, which included a diverse array of voters, especially women, minorities, and young people. Trump, on the other hand, continues to leverage his strong base of support among Republicans and working-class voters. His messaging often revolves around economic nationalism, emphasizing the need to restore American jobs and industry while criticizing what he calls woke policies that he believes undermine traditional values. Trump has made a concerted effort to connect with voters who feel disillusioned by the political establishment and who seek a leader who speaks directly to their concerns. His campaign strategy involves focusing heavily on the swing states, where he can tap into these sentiments effectively. The polling landscape remains fluid, and with only weeks until the election, both candidates will need to be agile in their campaigns. Recent polls indicate that Trump and Harris are evenly matched in certain scenarios, with some surveys showing both candidates at 48% support. This tight race illustrates the importance of battleground states, where even a small shift in voter sentiment can lead to a significant change in electoral outcomes. As the candidates ramp up their campaigning efforts, they will need to engage in targeted messaging that resonates with the unique concerns of voters in each state. This election is significant not only because it will determine the next president, but also because it reflects broader trends in American society. Issues such as healthcare, the economy, climate change, and social justice are at the forefront of voters' minds, and candidates must navigate these complex topics effectively. Harris's campaign focuses on building on the achievements of the Biden administration while addressing the concerns of voters who feel that progress has not been swift enough. In contrast, Trump's campaign seeks to galvanize support by emphasizing a return to his prior policies and his outsider status. As we approach the final weeks of the campaign, the stakes are high. Both candidates will need to engage in vigorous campaigning, attend rallies, participate in debates, and make personal connections with voters to sway undecided individuals. The race will not only hinge on voter turnout but also on the ability to articulate clear visions for the future of the country. Voter engagement will be key, especially among young voters, who historically have lower turnout rates. The outcome of this election will not only shape U.S. policy, but will also influence international relations, economic strategies, and social dynamics for years to come. As such, it is imperative for voters to remain informed and engaged. The role of early voting cannot be overstated, as it provides opportunities for more individuals to participate in the electoral process. Engaging voters in discussions about their concerns and hopes for the future is essential for both campaigns. In conclusion, the 2024 presidential election is shaping up to be one of the most closely contested in recent history. With the polling data indicating a tight race between Trump and Harris, the focus now shifts to the battleground states where every vote counts. Will Trump's strategy resonate with voters in these crucial regions, or will Harris be able to maintain her national lead and translate that into victories in swing states? As the days count down to Election Day, it's more important than ever for voters to educate themselves about the candidates and their platforms. If you enjoyed this analysis and want to stay updated on the latest developments in the 2024 election, be sure to subscribe to our channel. What are your thoughts on the current polling? Do you think Trump can maintain his lead in battleground states, or will Harris reclaim momentum as Election Day approaches? Share your opinions in the comments below.